Hi, everyone. I want to talk a little about Module 2, specifically about Teach Like a Pirate and inspiring students with those pirate hooks that I'm asking you to creatively utilize and think about when you are planning your lessons. When I read Dave Burgess's book more than 8 years ago, I was completely enamored and shifted it into my graduate classes because I think that this is so key that we need to remember when we're teaching, and that is to include the passion, to include the fun, and to help our students see the actual connection between what they're studying in school and the relevancy in their real world. And, Dave gives us so many different hooks. His first one is that kinesthetic hook. And I know that that seems the most obvious in a PE class, but this module, I'm going to ask you to step outside your comfort zone and really push and think about all the different hooks that you can bring into your gym and your physical education class to really help your students succeed and engage them in the lesson. Allison Smith from TeachStarter.com, she says that a solid lesson hook strategy has the supreme power in engaging students, capturing their imagination and maximizing learning. Think of it like a handshake. It's that first impression that you make on your students. A lesson hook is an introduction or an opening into a lesson that grabs the student's attention. A lesson hook is an opportunity to inject energy into a new learning journey and create an eagerness to find out more. Think of a rocket launch analogy. In order to reach the moon, an effective and impressive takeoff is critical. So I want to talk about these critical moves in our lesson plan that should be at the beginning and at the end of all our lessons. We have to start with a hook, and we also need to end with some closure or wrap up. So the objective of the hook specifically is to spark interest, to focus attention, and establish the why of the lesson. It's also a way that we can activate prior knowledge, because when students are activating their prior knowledge, their schema, they're able to make deeper connections with the new content that they're learning. So our pirate hooks that Dave gives us are so many, from technology to using props to using art. And I challenge you to try out some of these different hooks and step out of the comfortness of the kinesthetic to do some really engaging and exciting things to kick off your lesson. Consider it a drum roll that starts the song. So ways to spark interest. It could be with a video. Here I have a video from Dave Goggins. He's the author of Can't Hurt Me. He is a Navy SEAL veteran. He lost 106 pounds on his own and decided when he was in his early 30s that he wanted to go into the military. He went through the training twice. His book, I read back in January, is phenomenal. I have photographed on my bulletin board challenge number 4, and that's about know what your competitive situation is with you right now, your opponent, who is it, and how are they treating you or not respecting you, and how you need to turn the tables with excellence. If you haven't read Can't Hurt Me, this is on your summer to be read list. So I can read you a portion of the book. I can show you this little 6-minute video of him talking about his own journey. It can be a photograph. It can be a survey or a poll. How many of you have ever felt? We can use a song. We can play a game. These are just simple ways to spark interest. And keep in mind that your hook is less than 10 minutes of your whole lesson. We have focus attention. We want to focus our students' attention about what we are going to talk about. You can share a statistic or a key quote. You can pose a difficult problem or situation. If you have iPads or students have their own devices, you can put a QR code gallery up around the gymnasium and have them scan that little code you see in the center of the slide deck. You can ask a famous athlete a question or do a picture reveal where you have a whole picture covered up and then you slowly reveal it bit by bit as students sort of guess and infer and predict what that image is, or even asking that what if question. We're focusing the attention on the content we want our students to understand and utilize in other situations. We have to establish the why. This is the best way where we can draw real world connections. It could be analyzing a short story, a photograph, an article. Here we have an image of a guy with his ball on the bench. Let's establish why this is not good practice in the weight room. What is BMI? This is a screenshot from Wonderopolis, where it even includes some have you ever wondered and some additional information. You can have a short writing assignment or discussion, have you ever, or what would you do in this situation, to help establish the why. Activating prior knowledge is so important, and we can do that with mind maps and word art or a word cloud. It could be with a simple KWL chart, and I'm not saying that you have to photocopy this KWL chart and give it to everyone, but this can be on a bulletin board that students write on with Sharpies, or they use Post-it notes or dry erase boards. It could be a brain dump or a 30-second challenge, which is sort of like a game I like to play with my students, where they have 30 seconds to tell me everything that they know about a certain idea or concept. We can use tech tools like Kahoot or Quizzy to activate prior knowledge, and then we could come back to these again when we're talking about wrap-ups. So wrap-ups. Wrap-ups are how we conclude the lesson, how we determine what students understand and can apply into new situations. Is there anything that the students can provide that can help you in shaping the instruction you're going to do moving forward? And what assessment might you be able to give here to further students' learning and assessment? So reasons to wrap up: one, to make sure that they understand the content, they can show the process, or their metacognition. So when it's content, that's to show what you know. You can, again, with technology, complete a Google form or play Quizlet Live. It could be a Post-it note exit ticket, a 3, 2, 1, or even a wall where they share their ideas with dry erase marker on a bulletin board. Process is about students sharing their understanding. They can respond on a Flipgrid video. You can use a Padlet where students can draw or write or add images or videos in response. They can teach back to their colleagues. And metacognition is about articulating what they learned, completing that L part, a column on the KWL, and the think, pair, share, or a ball toss, show me what you know when you throw the ball to them, or even having them respond on an index card that you take away. So as you work on Module 2, I want you to be really cognizant of your hooks and your wrap-ups, and also when you're lesson planning, include these creatively into your classroom so that you can design effective lessons that are engaging, meaningful, and inspire deep learning. So have a great weekend. I can't wait to read your ideas.